Hi, it's Paula here from Pilates with Paula. Just doing a little video today with the ring. I know some of you love it, some of you hate it, but it's a great piece of equipment and helps you to concentrate on some of the exercises a little bit more. So if you haven't got a ring, you could use a band or a ball. So the ball can be replaced in between the ankles or knees when we use the ring, or you could use your band on the outside of the ankles, so just make sure you've got that tied up to a little bit of resistance, or use a loop band instead. So we're going to start with standing. Put the ball or your ring in between the ankles, so stand up. Just pop that in here. You don't want to go quite on the bone of the ankle, just come slightly above it because there's a bit more muscle on there. It can feel slightly uncomfortable. So once you're standing, have a look at your position with your feet. Just check for me that you've got your toes on the floor. You haven't lifted the arch of the foot too much, so just press the pad of the big toe so you've got all the pads of the feet, the whole foot on the floor. And then begin to lift slowly up through those heels and then slowly bring it back down. Now if you have an issue with your balance, you can always have a unit, a chair or something next to you. So when you're lifting and lowering, particularly when you lift up, don't go too high. Just a small hover through the hips, through the heels, and then back down again. So taking a deep breath in and then lower, and lift and lower, and then rock back onto the heels and start to lift the toes. Let the arms hang to the side. Think of the length you're trying to create through the spine, lengthening out through the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Let's put those two together. Lift the heels, lower the heels, lift the toes. And I'm just giving the ball or the ring a slight squeeze into the ankles, focusing on contracting through the inner thighs a little bit more, and then hold it here. So just let the arms hang here. Arms and head start to gently come forward. So if you have any back issues, soften the knees and maybe go to a small amount of flexion forwards, or straight legs. Start to lengthen all the way out. I'm going to start with soft knees this morning. Take a deep breath in. Keep the ring tight in the ankles and a roll up through the spine. Sliding the shoulders down, coming up with the head last. Deep breath in here. Allow the head and shoulders to come forwards. Allow the rib cage to slide forwards. So each time, see if you can lengthen the legs out at the back a little bit more. I'm keeping mine soft on purpose. Okay, roll through the pelvis. Feel that the pubic bone is coming up and the sit bones are going down. Breath in. We'll go for one more. Flexing forwards. Deep breath in. And as you're coming back up, just checking for me, you can feel your glutes and your hamstrings drawing downwards all the way up, and head and shoulders coming up last. Now see if you can do this with the heels slightly raised and literally just got a tiny, tiny little lift through those heels. Okay, it does test your balance a little bit and you will feel your feet moving underneath you. So we're going to roll down, even if it's only halfway. Take a breath in, keep those heels off the floor, and then gradually restack the spine. My feet are really having to work underneath me. Deep breath in at the top, still got the heels off the floor. Just the right amount of tension through the ring on the inner thighs, and roll yourself all the way back down. So as you go forwards and you're breathing out, so you can just feel those tummy muscles kicking in. And out breath, just the right amount of tension again. Really hard to try and keep those heels off the floor. Rolling back up, roll the shoulders, drop the heels. Breath in and out. Now just soften the knees and just grab hold of that ring. Just take it from the ankles and we're taking it down onto the floor. Okay, so once you're lying down, if you haven't got your ring again, as I said earlier, you could use your soft ball or your band when I cue it. Okay, so have your blocks near you as well, just in case you need those. Okay, now the first thing I want you to do is just place the ring or the ball into the inside of the knees. You can just see I've got it just in the inside of the knee joint, not on the knee joint itself. Okay, once you've got it there, hands under the thighs, or lie down first and then you can put the ring or the ball underneath. So once you're here, adjust, and then we're beginning to use the inner thighs to begin with, okay? So as you squeeze on the ring, what I want you to make sure is the thigh bones are coming towards each other and releasing. Okay, and then get a sense of what you're doing with your feet. Are you rolling to your big toe to your little toe as you move the legs? So can you keep your big toe, the pad of your big toe, on the floor as you squeeze on the ring? And as you breathe out, squeeze. As you breathe in, release. We'll do 3 more and then we'll double time squeeze. So those who are a bit more advanced, you could bring your legs up to 90 degrees. So feet off the floor. But you may need a cushioning underneath your head. Okay, now that's fine too. So if you feel like you're doing this with your chin or raising the ribs up behind you, always a good idea to have a cushion underneath the head. Okay, now let's pulse it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let it go for a second. Now turn the toes outwards and the heels inwards. Squeeze slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just checking that I'm not rolling with my feet. I'm keeping my feet in exactly the same position, just focusing on those inner thighs. Great exercise for your pelvic floor as well, because anything that focuses on the muscles in the inner thigh works the obstructus internus muscle, which is just inside the top of the pelvis. Let's hold this next one and squeeze. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Well done. Turn the feet inwards. Now this one can be quite difficult because you want to roll on the outside edge of your feet. So press that big toe down into the floor, squeeze on the ring. Now keep the big toe on the floor and the pad of the big toe and let the knees open out. Breathe out, squeeze. Excellent, well done. And again. Now, as you're breathing in and out, your stomach will lift and lower, and the reason that happens is your diaphragm is lifting up and lowering down. So above your rib cage, you've got your lungs that sit up here, and then you've got your diaphragm that sits just underneath the base of the rib cage, and it comes up just underneath the bra line. Okay, so every time you breathe out, the diaphragm lifts up and forces the air out. And every time you breathe in, the diaphragm drops to allow the lungs to inflate again. So breathing out to squeeze really gets the stomach muscles naturally pulling in. Okay, so that's why we focus on our diaphragmatic breathing. 2, 1, and I'm going to hold this here and pump. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Well done. Let that go. Grab hold of the ring and walk your feet to hip width apart. Now if you've got a band, you could wrap that around the outside of the hand. So I'm going to put the ring down and just put my arms through. If you've got a watch, just go above the watch. Okay, bring both arms up towards the ceiling. So if you have any shoulder issues, can you just be very careful with this one, don't go too far back. So you're going to pull the ring apart with your arms and just gently let those arms drop back and then bring it back up towards the ceiling. Out breath as you go back. In breath as you come back in. So remember, out breath on the effort, because that's going to get our stomach muscles to contracting naturally. Okay, so breathe out, send the arms back. Breathe in, bring the arms forwards. One more time. Out breath, take it back. In breath, bring it forwards. Right, so take the ring down, put your hands on the outside of the ring or lose the band and use a soft ball instead. On the heel of the hand, straight arms up towards the chest. I'm not over my head, so just bring it back a little bit more. Can you see it's right over the top of my rib cage? I'm going to put a little bit more weight through the pinky finger side of my hand, so the heel of the hand. And then what happens is this connection of your arm comes into here. If you squeeze in the thumb, you get a contraction up in the neck and the shoulder. Okay, we don't want that strain to happen there. All right, so little finger, pinky side, almost like I'm lifting the pad of my thumb. Squeeze and bring the arms back, and then bring it back up. I'm still squeezing onto the pinky finger side of my hand. It's almost like my thumb is lifting away every time I do go back and forward. So if that gives you any shoulder pain, reduce the amount of movement, smaller range of movement, or don't do this at all and just maybe stay here, do some squeezing instead. Okay, keep those ribs behind you, down. One more. And then bring it back. Well done. Right, the ball or the ring is going to go back inside the legs. We're going to lose the cushion behind your head or block if you have one. Squeeze on the ring so you can feel the inner thighs working. Pad the feet fully on the floor. Tip the pelvis up into your bridge. Reach out through the knees and the ring. Breathe in at the top here, and then start to roll down through the rib cage, through the lower back, and then tailbone coming down last. Now I want you to try and keep the resistance on the ring all the way through this exercise, and then lower all the way through the spine. And lift, and keep the resistance on the ring and bring it back down. Let's add the arms to this. So we're going to lift up, take both arms back behind you, lengthen them out, stretch the spine all the way along the floor. Once the rib cage is down, there's no arching in the back, bring the arms back down by your side. Keep the resistance on the ring with the inner thighs and lift up. Take the arms back, roll it down, lengthen, arms over, breath in. Lift up, take it back. This is your last one. Roll it down and reach the ring. Now, if you haven't got your ring, put a band on the outside of the legs. I'm just going to put one foot through and then the other. And this time I want the ring on the outside, or your band on the outside of your legs, and your feet are down on the floor. Okay. Now I want you to press into your feet, but at the same time, whereas we were pressing on the ring on the inside, now I want you to press onto the outside edges of the ring. Okay, just do a few pulses for me, just making sure it feels in the right place, it's comfortable, and every time you blow out through the mouth, I want you to stretch the ring wide. Good, now stretch the ring, tip the pelvis, stand up into the feet, reach out through the knees, deep breath in, and then roll down through the spine. Keep stretching the ring or the band, come straight back up. Stand into the feet, breath in, hold, keep stretching the ring, roll segmentally through the spine, and lift, and down, and lift, and down. At the top of the movement, I want you to change to feet position. So I'm going to lift all my toes and the ball of the feet, so I'm digging the heels into the floor, and pull on the ring wide and lower back down. So we go up into your bridge, keep pulling on the band or the ring and come back down. So let me just do two more with the heels down and the toes up. Last one. Good, and as you lower back down, just adjust your feet a little bit, walk them in, lift the heels up so you're on the pads of your feet. You don't want to go too high up because then you'll roll onto the little toe and you'll take the pressure off the big toe. Okay, so all the way across evenly, stretch out the ring, lift up, hover the heels and lower back down. So if you also, the other thing, if you have your heels a little bit lower, you'll start to feel your calf muscles working, but as you go up too high, you won't feel that so much. Okay, so go up and down and lift and lower. And at the top of the movement, we're going to stay here and pump the heels. One down, one up. Keep stretching the ring. There will be an occasion where one side of the ring slightly drops a few centimetres or a few millimetres. So keep those hips raised. Keep pumping the ankles. 4, 3, 2 and 1. Well done. Both heels down, roll all the way back down, and then just grab hold of that ring, take it from the legs and put your feet on the floor. I'm going to turn the handle of the ring, hold one of the handles and place my left foot inside the ring, keeping the right foot on the floor. So use your band if you need to. Press the left leg up towards the ceiling and then bend it. So push the heel away. So straightening the leg as much as possible, not forcing it there. So if you can only get to here, that's absolutely fine. Your goal is to eventually lengthen through the leg. Hold this one here, little point and flex through the foot. Really lengthen out the calf. Good, well done. And then push the heel away. Lengthen the right leg to here, or maybe a little bit further. Maybe you can go all the way out to the floor. Right hand goes into the ring, left arm out to the side and drop the left leg over to the right. So this is stretching inner tibial band and also going round into the pelvis. Okay, I'm going to switch over hands and then bring the right arm and right leg further out to the right and drop the left leg over to the left. Okay, push out through the heel, straight leg, bring it back into center, place the hands inside the ring, bring the right leg in, left foot down, and let's change over to the right foot inside the ring or band, and we slowly press out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and hold, point and flex. Hold it here, lengthen the left leg out, left hand in the ring, right arm out to the side. We take the right leg over to the left. Brilliant, well done. Bring it back to center, switch hands. Shift your left arm and left leg out to the left. Take the right leg, right arm out to the side. Back into center, place the hand inside the ring, bring the left leg in, bring the right leg down and rest there. Okay, then we're going to come up to sit. So I'm going to put the ring down for a moment, roll over to your side and up. Okay, now you can use your ring, you can use your band, but we're going to put that on the outside edge of your foot. Okay, it doesn't go, it needs to be straight like this, can you see? You don't want it that way up, all right? It doesn't go underneath the legs. So if you have any back issues, can you pop a cushion underneath here just to give yourself a bit more protection? Have the hands underneath the thighs, sit really tall, breathe in. Dig the heels into the ground, tuck the pelvis under, roll the sit bones and the tailbone underneath, and then pull up with those arms and lift the chest, lifting all the way up. And again, tuck the tailbone under, lengthen, and then come all the way up. Maybe you could have your arms here, rolling back and return, and back and return. Don't forget your breathing. Out breath, in breath to come up. Brilliant. Now I'm going to take it to the next level, so feel free to stay with that or have a rest if you're finding that a little bit challenging. Okay, so I'm going to press into the outside of my feet. Tailbone starts to roll under. Keep stretching the ring. Lower down with control. Ribs stay down, arms go back, breath in. Arms come up towards the ceiling. Curl through the spine, keep stretching the ring with the feet. Sit up, and then you could add a lengthen through the arms. Deep breath in, roll it back. Press into the band of the ring. Control, ribs stay down, arms go back. Arms up to the ceiling, roll forwards. Sit tall. Then lengthen, keep moving the pelvis, rolling back, pressing into the ring, arms back. This is your last one, so sitting up and reach to the ring. Excellent, well done. Now you're going to put the base of the ring, the handle, under the bra line, and you're just going to bring your hands around the front. So if you've just got your ball, that's fine. You're going to rotate round to the left, looking over your left shoulder. Bring it back to centre and then rotate round to the right side and back to centre. To the left, to the right. Notice how quiet my pelvis and my legs are. I'm not shifting my legs or my pelvis. One more each side. Well done, and back into centre. Excellent. Right, now we're going to put the ring down to your left. We're going to roll onto your left, grabbing your cushions, pop those in position, and we're going to have the ring straight out in front of you. If you have a ball, place the ball in your hands and have your left hand on the floor and your right hand on top. Okay, so the first thing, if you've got a ring, once you place it on the floor, don't have it too high, and the back of your hand goes inside the ring. So if you took your right hand off, the ring wouldn't move. Okay, so just rest the head back, lengthen the legs. The same as before, the pinky finger side of the hand presses a little firmer than the thumb. Okay, so as you don't want to work up into the neck or the shoulder. Soft press, blow and release. So what I'm feeling is the muscles working into the back of my arm, into the tricep and into the lats and serratus muscles, which should go into underneath the armpit here, around this area. Okay, so press, release. We'll do 2 more. Slightly lifting the waist. And on this next one, float the right leg up and then bring it back down. Now what you want to make sure when you bring your leg up is you're going slightly back and not too far forwards, because you don't want to use your hip flexors. You want to feel your glutes working a bit more. Okay, so float back down. Now I'm going to take it up to the next level, and that is bringing the bottom leg off the floor and just keeping it off the floor as I lift and lower through the right leg. If that's too much for you, just bring the bottom leg down to the floor, or just keep the bottom leg bent on the floor if that's too much as well. 3, 2, 1, and lower both legs. Okay, bend the bottom leg and keep this top leg as it was. You see it's in line with my rib cage. Now I'm going to do a gentle press and kick the leg forwards, and then release and then kick back. Forwards, breath in, and then don't press on the ring as you kick back. In breath, out breath. So it's harder if you've got your bottom leg straight. I'm just doing this for the benefit of the lower level. Okay, so if you want to straighten the left leg, do so. If you start to feel like you're putting weight through the bottom left arm, it's probably because you've rolled your body slightly forwards. So just adjust that by just pressing the left side of the body down into the floor, all the way down to the outside of your little toe. 1 more. Well done, and bring it back. Right, so take the ring down to your ankle. So I've brought my left leg up. My right leg's going to go on top as well. I'm going to flex my feet and reach out through the heels, as if I had my feet resting on the floor or a wall. How would you be standing in your feet? Okay, the hand can go on the hip, or what you could do is put your hands on the belly, and that's quite a nice feeling to know whether you're breathing in or out. So when you breathe out, you'll feel that your stomach muscles will pull inwards, your stomach muscles will go back. Okay, and then as you breathe in, your hand will move forward. So the belly moves back and forth. Okay, so breath out, press down on the ring and breathe in to release. Again, and release, and blow, and release, and blow, and release, blow, release. 2 more. Using the inner thighs, both sides, inner, left and right. Last one after this one. Now you can see my ring isn't quite level. Okay, so I wouldn't normally adjust that, but just carry on with this and hold and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Hold. Now you might have found that the ring jumped around a little bit. Let go. Right, bring your legs up, place the band or the ring around the outside of the legs and extend the legs out. Okay, hand back on the hip, or if you want to feel your stomach muscles working, place them here. Relax your shoulder and your arm. Press and release. Press and release. Whereas before we're working on the inner thighs, which are your adductors. These are your abductors, are on the outside, adductors on the inside. Okay, so there's only one letter difference. Excellent. Keep those feet straight. 3, 2, and hold and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Well done. Now keep the ring where it is, or lose the band if you've got it. Bring your knee up, reach it to the front, bring the knee up, reach it to the side of the ring, bring the knee up and then reach it back. So you may have done a class previously to this where we get the chair and we put the chair there and then we're reaching over the front and back and the side of the chair. So it's very similar. So maybe go and have a look at that one. Reach, knee up to the front, knee up to the side, knee up, and we're pressing into the bottom leg. Sometimes a bit harder when you bring your leg behind you. Okay, so when you bring your leg to the side, not too bad. So when you go behind, you've got to work a little bit harder in those abs to stop yourself falling over. So take the longest breath out when you go back here now. All right, so if you're really struggling, take the ring away and bend the bottom leg. Right, we're going to tap over the top and again, tap behind. Over the ring to the front, breath in. Over the ring and breath out behind. In breath, out breath. In, out. One more set behind. Well done. Bend the knee up and I'm just going to get the foot, hook it and take the ring away. Now you could use your ball here if you wish. I'm just going to bend my knees up, feet in line, hands on top, slide the hand forwards and backwards, adjust your block underneath your head to make sure your head is supported. Rock your shoulder. Can you see I'm not bending my elbow? That would be a little bit of a faulty pattern movement if you were to bend your elbow. So you're going to rock back and forth with the arm, and then on the next one, slide it up, steady the pelvis and the legs, lift the arm, rotate the rib cage to take the arm back and bring it back in. So if you have got any shoulder issues, you could always modify it by just putting the hand on the chest and just start to roll the rib cage back and forth until you can manage to bring yourself into this position. Okay, but if you have got a shoulder issue, really you should be doing one-to-ones or seeing someone like a physio, osteopath to get that corrected. So if you feel you want to, add your circles around the front, around the back, quiet legs. So, good. Going with the breath. To feel the rotation, we'll go for one more. Well done, and then circle back the other way. Over, forwards. Another 2. Reach. Last one. And reach it back. Well done. Right, we're going to go up to sit. I'm going to bring my left leg forwards, my right leg back, and push myself up, grabbing the ring and also the ball if you want to use that instead. So make sure you're not sitting with your hips so uplifted like this. Sit on some cushions until you can feel that you can bring your hips level. So sitting up higher, allows this hip to, can you see the difference between, it's quite a bit of flexion there. So you could even sit up on a sofa to do this one as well. Okay, so ring or ball to next to you. I'm going to lightly press down on the ring. That's going to engage underneath the arm. Left arm comes up as I press down, lengthen over to the side, and then release slightly on the ring as I come back. So go over, press down, the pinky finger side, I'm pressing into more, over, and back. So it may be a better option if you're struggling to sit like this, if your ankles, your knee are an issue, your hips are an issue, particularly if you've got hip replacement, you won't want to sit like this. Okay, so you may want to sit up on the sofa with your feet down on the floor, knees and hips in line. Last one. Well done. So that takes us nicely up to the other end. So put the ring down, move your cushions up the other end, readjust your mat position if you need to. Okay, so going this way. Ball or ring if you're using it, and the band is easy access if you want to use those. Okay, so come down onto your right hand side. We're going back into your arm movement first. Okay, so ring or ball on the floor, back of the hand inside the ring, left hand on top, and I'm just going to press into that pinky finger side of my left hand and release and blow, release. So although I'm feeling the back of my arm, I can feel some work going in my chest muscles, but they're right of mount. So I don't want too much in the chest. Okay, so start to float the leg as you press into the pinky finger side and down. And breathe out, lift and lower. So remember, you're trying to get that diaphragm to lift and lower underneath you. Of course, that's doing the work all day long and you don't really think about it. So you are using your stomach muscles all the time in your breathing in and out, but we're just emphasising the breath to allow those tummy muscles to contract a little deeper. Okay, remember you can do the next level, which is bottom leg off the floor. Excellent. Another 3, 2, and your last one. Well done, and lower the legs all the way down. Now remember, you can bend the bottom leg, which I'm going to do for this one, or you can straighten out the bottom leg. Okay, so you're going to press lightly on the ring, kick forwards, release the pressure on the ring as you kick back. Press and release. Soft hands. Now be mindful when you kick the leg back, you don't feel like you're pushing the front ribs forwards. Okay, lengthen the hip flexors. Good, go for 2 more. And back. 1 more. And back, well done. Bring it back to center. And we're going to go into the ankles. Okay, so we just bring the band or the ball inside the ankles. Right, and then left on top. Stretch the legs out, flex the feet, hand on the hip or hand on the abs, just to see what's happening there. So we press down, release, blow, release. Excellent work. So if the ring doesn't feel comfortable, stable, you can just maneuver it into a better position. So can you feel how the inner thighs are working, and then as you breathe out, the pelvic floor muscles are being pulled upwards because the diaphragm is connected to that. So all these muscles are connected all the way up through the middle of the body. Okay, hold this one and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Well done. Bend the knees up, so the band or the ring is going on the outside of the ankles. Stretch the legs out, flex the feet. And this time we're stretching the ring for 1, 2, 3, 4. So whereabouts my thumb is where I want to be working from. Glute medius. Excellent. Last 2. 1, hold and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let the leg come down slightly, so take your band away if you have it there. Bring the knee up, reach it to the front. Bring the knee up, reach it to the side. Bring the knee up. Now watch this one as you reach back behind you. Excellent, well done. And over the side, to the front, to the side, to the back, to the side, to the front, to the side, and to the back. Excellent, keep going. To the side, front, side, back. We'll go all the way around again and finish the back. Watch you're not putting too much weight through that bottom arm again. It might be your body starting to tip forward. So here we go. Tapping over the top, tap behind. To the front, think about your posture, how you're holding your posture as you're moving through the leg. And back, to the front, to the back. In breath, out breath. One more. Very good, well done. And bring it back. Right, so let's bring the ring in. So grab your ball if you want to use that. So ring out of the way. Hands on top if you haven't got a ball. Slide it forwards. Slide it back. Rotate the head. Rotate the neck. Rotate the rib cage. And your arm will just follow the movement of the ribs. Okay, so remember the modified version is hand on the chest and rotate the rib cage. Lift the arm up. Open out through the ribs and bring it back in. And open and return. And open and return. We'll go for 2 more and then we'll add the rotation of your shoulder with your arm. So if that is not a suitable exercise for you, if you've got a shoulder injury, then carry on with that. Okay, so go round and back, round to the back, round to the front. So you want the rib cage to move with the arm to free up the spine. It's not all about the core, it's actually more about how the whole body can move to keep the spine healthy. Let's go back the other way. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going into your mermaid position. So bottom leg comes forwards, top leg goes back, push it up, come up onto your elbow, grab the ring, put it up the other end. Okay, sit up on your cushions if you need them. Okay, so your ring is here. We're just going to press into the pinky finger side of the hand. Just remind your arm that it's got to use the muscles here. So press and over. Bring it back. Press down. And back. Over. And back. Good. 3, 2, and last one. And return. Very good. Well done. Right, let's pop the ring down for a moment. Let's go onto your hands and knees and go for a quick cat stretch. Okay, if you can't come onto your knees, maybe go onto the wall and just arch the back up and down from here to give you in the back a little bit of a rest. So we're going to tuck under and then back. Make sure you start at the pelvis and then work up to the shoulders. Otherwise what will happen is you just push up through the shoulders. Can you see how flat I am in my lower back there? So start at the pelvis and get some opening, and then the curve is a lot more even through the spine and you don't just push up through the shoulders. Okay, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, tailbone under, ripple it all the way up the spine, head forwards, breathe in, tailbone lifts. Last one. Well done, and bring it back. Now, we're going to use the ring under your chest for a push-up. Now, there's a couple of mistakes you can make when you use the ring. So the first thing I want you to do is place the ring at the base of your sternum, and that's called your xiphoid process. Okay, so when you're on there, the ring goes about here. Okay, and then just put the ring on the floor. Now what people tend to do straight away is they push the ribs down and they stick the bottom out. Okay, and you can see I'm squashing the ring already. All right, so bring your hands either side. Okay, and then start to bend your elbows out to the side and then just push the ribs down, not by doing this, but just push on the ring with a straight back or a neutral spine, and then come straight back up again. Okay, watch the head isn't hanging here, so lift up. The movement doesn't come from the neck, it comes from you bending your elbows. Okay, that clicking is my ring that I've got here. I don't always do that, by the way. All right, so it's a good way to teach you to do a push-up. Okay, I'll just move my blocks out of the way. Right, keep the ring here and extend the right leg out behind you. Bring it back in, keep the chest up, and then move to the left leg and bring it back in. So I'm just keeping the ring underneath to be really quiet and still, just enough pressure that I'm not pushing down and arching the back. Lengthen out. Keep the legs still, start to bring your arm up and forwards. If you can't quite manage to bring your arm up, just slide it towards the end of the mat and bring it back in. Now the reason you can't normally bring your arm up very high is because you're flexing forwards. You can't bring your arm up if your head is here. Okay, so lift your head, lift your chest. Opposite arm. That's it, alternate arms. Now add the leg, add the arm together for 1. Excellent. 2, 3, keep the chest and the head up. Fully lengthen the arm and leg without losing the ring underneath you. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Sit back. Take the ring away, hug your knees into your chest if you can't kneel up, or stretch the arms out, head down, stretch the lower back. Okay, walk yourself back up. Right, we're going to stretch out your hip flexors today because you always end up doing a little work with the glutes. So let's have a look. If you cannot kneel up, you could do this by just lying on your back and hug one knee into your chest and stretch the other leg out on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to step my right leg forwards and then your left leg behind you stays there. So make sure your right leg is completely straight, your hips are facing forwards. Bend the right knee and place the hands on the front of the thigh. And if you want to, you can tuck the toes under on the back leg. So if you're doing this and it's hurting your knees, come out of this, lie on the floor, one knee to the chest, the other leg stretches out. Okay, so just keep pushing the hip forwards. Breathing in, you can just feel the tissue and the muscles lengthening. Okay, now push into the front foot to straighten the front leg. And bring that right leg behind you, and let's bring the left leg forwards. Okay, straighten the leg, bend the knee, tuck the toes under, push the hip forwards, keep the chest up, keep the chest open. Good. Feeling the hips opening. Just watch you're not pushing these ribs out too much. Think of opening through the front of the hip. Okay, and then straightening this leg, bring it back into a few cat stretches, hands underneath your shoulders, spine's in neutral, tailbone goes under, let the head come forwards, tailbone lifts, chest goes up and forwards, head comes up, and one more time. Tailbone under. So you could always finish by coming down onto the mat and do some relaxation. There's lots of exercise you know you could probably do using the prickle balls or the band or something like that. Okay, well done everybody, excellent work, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, take care, bye.